Hey there, how's it going? I'm MisterBo, and today I thought we'd do a roundup of all of the leaks and all of the rumours that we've heard about the new Crash Bandicoot game. Now, while we haven't had any official confirmation we are actually getting a Crash Bandicoot game this year, there have been plenty of leaks and rumours suggesting that we might be seeing one this year and what that game might look like. So we'll be going over everything that we have heard. And then at the end of the video, we'll talk about the Summer Game Fest, which got announced last week, and why we might be seeing an announcement then, and how Activision is having an investment call tomorrow that may also give us some teasers as well. Now, before we get into the video, just like I did in the last one, I wanted to let you know that most of you who watch my videos are not actually subscribed. 81% of the people who watch my videos haven't clicked that subscribe button. So if you do enjoy my content, you want to help support me and the channel, then click subscribe. You'll be updated when my new videos go live. My goal is to try and reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and maybe turn that 81% into something more like 50%. However, with that out of the way, let's dive into the main topic. So we've been hearing rumblings of a new Crash Bandicoot game for quite some time. In fact, as far back as November 2019. Now, the current theories around the community is that Vicarious Vision are probably working on this brand new Crash game. They probably started sometime around after the Insane trilogy, which means they've probably been working on this for around 2.5–3 years now. Of course, things can happen in development, they can cancel ideas, they can reboot things, maybe they had some sort of plan for a Crash game that just wasn't working, so they shifted into a different direction. After the Insane trilogy, we saw the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Of course, we then saw Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled last year, and people would assume that we'd be back to another Spyro game, but it seems like Spyro is taking a little bit of time off before we see a new one of those. So what was the first sort of leak that we heard about this brand new Crash Bandicoot game? Well, it came from two different sources. So the first thing we heard was from Sabi Wabi, who is a known Nintendo leaker. And they said they heard from a good Activision connection that Activision does have a new Crash game coming. And no, it's not specifically the 4chan leak that included World. There was a rumor and a fake image going around for quite some time called Crash Bandicoot Worlds. People had assumed it was real, but it wasn't. They then said that they can't deconfirm Worlds, just know that that's not what I'm talking about. Vicarious seems to be it, but can't be 100% on that part. They also said it was a new game and not a remake. So that kind of backs up the theory that Vicarious Vision is indeed working on it, but again, that could have just been guessed. That is the general speculation here, so this doesn't really tell us that much other than we were expecting to see a new Crash game that's not a remake. Well, then that was followed up the same day by Viewer Anon. Now, Viewer Anon is not known in the gaming community for releasing leaks and rumors and stuff like that. I believe Viewer Anon usually talks about stuff in the movie industry, so this was kind of strange that we were seeing a leak from this person who doesn't leak in the gaming industry. Anyway, they said this: scooping a different industry. Not only is a new Crash Bandicoot game coming, I've heard from someone I trust, the whole thing revolves around masks with special abilities and that there will be levels where you play as Cortex. They then added onto that saying the Cortex levels. Word is they tell the full story of the Crash levels. So if something blows up to block Crash's progress, the challenge will be you as Cortex setting off that explosion. I trust the source I got the info from. And then they followed that up with yet a third tweet: just had some things clarified for me. You can play as Crash or Coco, the gameplay is Naughty Dog-like, no open world, and the progression system was described as like Super Mario Bros. 3/World. Themed worlds with individual levels in each, and that's all I know. Now, I believe since then these tweets have actually been deleted. I couldn't find the original tweets, but that might just be me. So this was pretty interesting at the time because just 2 weeks prior, we actually got a brand new PlayStation 4 advert which featured Crash Bandicoot in it. Now, the thing that people noticed from this advert was there was a new mask following the Crash Bandicoot characters. A mask we'd never seen before that looked like it was maybe related to the moon in some way. People started tying this leak to that advert and saying, yes, it's probably legit. We're going to be using new masks. There was a new mask in the advert. It makes sense. And then from there, we really didn't hear that much for quite some time. Nothing got announced. There were no more leaks. There were no more rumors. Until March 12th, when a known Call of Duty leaker, the Gaming Revolution, put up some information about upcoming Activision games. Now, the Gaming Revolution has got a lot right in the past. leaked out stuff with previous Call of Duty games, leaked out the Warzone Battle Royale mode for Modern Warfare before I think Modern Warfare had even come out, or just as it was coming out, around 6 months before we actually saw it launch officially, so their track record is pretty legit. Well, one day on March 12th, they tweeted out a number of things, including that Activision is working on a brand new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remaster, a brand new Call of Duty set for this year, 2020, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, which then indeed did come out, a free-to-play COD game from Sledgehammer Games, expected to be launching next year, a brand new PvP Crash Bandicoot game, and Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex Remastered. Now this set the internet and the Crash community ablaze. People were like, wait, what does this mean? Are we going to be seeing a Crash Bash remake? Is that what the PvP game is here? And are we really going to be seeing a Wrath of Cortex remake and not a completely brand new Crash game? Well, the Gaming Revolution then followed that up, saying the PvP game is still in its early days and it is expected to release in 2021, although that could change. It will also be available on console, PC, and mobile. Now, obviously, with what's happening in the world at the moment, with the pandemic, with quarantine, with all that stuff, plans have probably changed, and maybe this PvP game is still in development, maybe it still comes out next year, maybe it's in 2022 instead, we don't know. The same might go for this current Crash Bandicoot, which is supposed to launch this year. Maybe that's getting pushed back as well, and that's why we haven't seen any official trailers or teasers for it yet. Now, a lot of people started questioning the Gaming Revolution, saying, are you sure it's a Wrath of Cortex Remastered? To which he responded saying he was pretty sure his source said it's a Crash Bandicoot remaster of Wrath of Cortex. He then followed that up yet again saying, wait, my leak might have just been a little bit off. All they told me was it might be just Crash Bandicoot 4. So we are still a little bit unsure whether or not we are actually going to be seeing Wrath of Cortex as a remaster, or if it's going to be in the same style, which of course then links back to Viewer Anon, who said the game would revolve around masks and abilities. And as we all know, Wrath of Cortex revolved around the 4 elemental masks. So we're starting to get a little bit of a picture about what this new Crash Bandicoot game could actually be. A Crash Bandicoot game in the style of, say, Warped, where you have these warp rooms, lots of different abilities with different masks, the ability to play as Crash and Coco through levels, but then also new levels where you get to play as Cortex. It does genuinely sound like a good step for where Crash Bandicoot could go in the future. But then of course, there was one more leak. Now this final leak came from Capito Rumour over on Twitter, who is kind of known for leaking stuff, but at the same time, kind of not. I did a video on this when it first came out, and talked about how they had previously leaked information which just never came true, including The Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima's release date, which was supposed to be revealed at the Game Awards 2018. Well, that didn't happen, and there was a bunch of other stuff. Now, I said at the time that I couldn't personally find anything that this person had leaked correctly, but that's mainly because most of their tweets are in Portuguese and it's a little bit hard to find that stuff. Anyways, this person said there's a new Crash on the way. Again, we've been hearing this from everyone. There's a new Crash on the way. There's probably a new Crash on the way. It's been in development for 3 years, and soon the marketing campaign should start at the hands of Activision. Again, going off of information we kind of already expected, seeing as it has been 3 years since the Insane trilogy. They were also told it will be one of the PS5 ad games, and it may contain some kind of exclusivity, but that has not been defined yet. Now, of course, the PlayStation 5 hasn't actually been revealed yet. We're expecting some kind of event either this month or next month. Obviously, Xbox has already announced we're going to be seeing an event this Thursday showing off third-party and second-party next-gen gameplay, which I will be doing a live reaction to. And then Microsoft is expected to do a full blown-out first-party reveal with the console and everything like that sometime maybe in June. So we are still waiting on PlayStation, but maybe when they do finally announce we're going to be getting a PS5 event, we see some kind of brand new Crash Bandicoot announced in tandem with that, with Crash Bandicoot very prominent in their advertising for the console. That would make a lot of sense because I think Sony still really sees Crash Bandicoot as their mascot, seeing as they had an exclusivity deal with the Insane trilogy to have it on PlayStation for a whole year, and of course they had a load of exclusive content in Nitro-Fueled. It would make sense we would see a load of exclusive content in a new Crash Bandicoot game. In my previous video in which I covered this tweet, I went over why I don't think it's going to be an exclusive game to PlayStation 5, and I also talked about why I don't think it's going to be an exclusive game to just PlayStation in general, seeing as how the Spyro Reignited trilogy and Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled were multi-platform from day one. I don't think Activision would kind of cycle that back. And that is really all we've heard at the moment for this Crash Bandicoot. Again, these are all leaks and rumours. These could indeed be true, or they could all indeed be fake. I would say take this stuff with a grain of salt, but we are starting to get a picture of what this Crash game might look like if these are indeed legit. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video we would talk about what is coming up next, especially with Summer Game Fest and even an Activision investment call happening tomorrow. So if you aren't aware, Jeff Keighley has announced the Summer Game Fest. Taking place from May till August, we're going to be seeing publishers and developers reveal games that they would have normally announced at E3 throughout this 4-month period. Now, some of the developers and publishers that Jeff Keighley has announced so far, which are going to be taking place, includes people like Xbox, PlayStation, Warner Brothers, EA, and even Activision. Now, of course, Activision is set to reveal Call of Duty probably this month or next month. But maybe Activision are going to reveal something else as well. It could, of course, be that brand new Tony Hawk's game, which seems to be very much rumoured at this point, or it could be a brand new Crash Bandicoot. There's no real way of knowing at this current time, but as soon as we do hear any official confirmation, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. Now, tomorrow on May 5th, Activision Blizzard is holding a first quarter calendar 2020 results conference call. Now, this is where they'll talk about what has happened in the first quarter, but they may also talk about what is coming up throughout the year. They'll probably confirm we are getting a Call of Duty this year, but they might also talk about what other games are coming this year. Whether they outright say a new Crash Bandicoot game or a new Tony Hawk's game, or whether they just say, hey, we've got Call of Duty and we've got one other title coming out this year, or we've got 2 other titles coming out this year. We don't know, but if there's something interesting that happens from that conference call, I will be sure to let you guys know on this channel. Tomorrow might be the day we're waiting for, where we get some sort of tease, or at least confirmation we are seeing a Crash in 2020, which is exciting news. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about all these rumors and leaks we've had over the last 6 months? Do you think they are credible? Do you believe any of them? Or do you think they are just kind of making this stuff up and you're waiting for official confirmation before getting your hopes up? If you did enjoy this video, then click that like button, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, subscribe if you're not already. Again, 81% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. It'd be awesome if we could bring that number down and maybe even reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Also, if you'd like to, feel free to join my Discord server. We have a nice little community over there where we talk about Crash Bandicoot, as well as plenty of other games. A link to that is in the description below. If you want to stay up to date with myself and the channel, you can follow me over on Twitter or keep an eye on the community tab section of the channel. The online cup tournament streams will resume soon. We'll be doing a PS4 one when I can. Sorry about postponing it on Friday, but don't worry, it will be coming soon. As I mentioned in the video, I'll be doing a live reaction watching the Inside Xbox on Thursday. We know we're going to be seeing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but we might also see some other cool games as well. But thank you for all of the support on the channel over the last couple of weeks. It's really awesome to see and I do appreciate it. But that'll wrap it up for this video. Thank you very much for watching and for hanging out, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.